solution. Hello, everyone. You are welcome to today's lesson. And in today's lesson, we are going to look at the solution to the assignment. Sorry, the class test, forgive me. The solution to the class test on what functions, the format functions. Okay, so I am, Mr. Hackman, and I'm going to be your facilitator. So quickly, let's go and look at what the solution to the first question. So this was the first question, okay. And the first question is only the C. That may be entirely is new to you, okay, but the rest you are very familiar. And even the C, I expected all of you to get it, but no issues. If you didn't get it, don't worry at all. Now you've seen questions of this nature, so anytime you see it, you know you'll be able to bag in all our marks. Okay, so now let's see. Okay, you know, every question when given, when you read a question, you underline the salient parts. Okay, so this will be underlined. Okay, so there will be penalty if you don't use this word, because I advise you as to what to do. So, okay, questions are numbered because we want you to number your solution. So what you write first is solution. You were told not to write a question, though some of you wrote. I don't know, okay, who instructed you to write it? Some of you are just being difficult in terms of, obeying simple rules and instructions. Okay, so this is what we have. So you extract what you are given, and the function, we have, fractions in parts. And I told you, anytime you have fractions in parts, okay, you have two ways. You can take this one to your comfort zone, which is writing this as a single fraction. Then now, okay, you go and determine the value or values of x for which your function will be undefined. Like I said, there is always a simple way. And what's the simple way? Just treat them as an individual fraction. If this is a fraction and you want to determine the value of x for which it's undefined, you just equate the denominator to 0. Same for this. So you do it only that you connect the two with or. So you write for undefined x must be equal to 0, or x plus 2 should be equal to 0. Okay, and at this point, this x is already solved here. If I'm moving from one line to the next line, you can see that I pushed. And because I'll be dealing with equation each, I can use the multiplication sign. I cannot use equal to. So if I push here, I write my x is equal to 0. Something, has interfered with this. I'm not conforming to this or. So I have to write it again before I come and write x is equal to now -2. This x is solved for. So this one, some of you I know will come and write it here. X is equal to -2 is allowed. Okay, no issues at all. So you come and draw your conclusion. So this will be it for the solution. We'll go through the solution together. Okay, then if you have issues, we'll deal with it. Then I will attach, or assign marks, then you mark. Okay, so this is what we have. B, we were given this function, and I've told you not to extract functions in the mapping, or the arrow form. So the penalty will come to those who decided not to do the right thing. So here, what are we going to find? Okay, we are finding the zeros. So indirectly, that is what we are looking for. We underline this. So find the value or values of x for which the function, this function, is 0. So you know, given you extract the function. Then for the zeros, very critical, your numerator should be equal to 0. In actual fact, the whole of this function, that should be equal to 0. I realize that if you equate everything to 0, you end up getting the numerator to be equal to 0. That will be your resultant equation. So always for any fraction to be 0, your numerator should be 0. And for it to be undefined, your denominator should be 0. So now we are looking at the 0. So our numerator here should be 0. And this question, you've seen it before. Okay, it's a question that was given to you as a class exercise. So it's a past questions. Okay, so now once there's a past question, you know. So for the zeros, you equate to 0. Now you come and factorize. So you get x squared into x minus 1. Set each of the factors to 0, then come and solve for x in each case. With this one, if you are solving for x, you take the square roots. Okay, then you don't write plus or minus. Ordinarily, any other number would have written plus or minus. Okay, but 0, we don't have plus or minus. So even if you write it, you discard it in the long run. Then you get it. So s will be equal to 0 or 1. That will be your results. Now let's come to the C. Okay, that's okay. Some of you struggled. Okay, so Given you extract, the function came in the relation form. Okay, not pretty though, but that is the function because it involves fractions. Then, okay, you can see you are told that f of 5 is equal to 8. So if once you know f of x, you know f of anything. So you use this one, okay, to find the k. So this is the condition for you to use to find your unknown k. Okay, so there is only one unknown. So you always have to get one information, either direct or indirect, to find that unknown. And here you can see that is the information given directly. So here you are told, but f of 5 is equal to 8. So this means wherever I see x in f of x, that will give me my f of 5. Then I equate the result to 8. So f of 5 will be k over, now this is 5. This will also be 5. So it will be k over 5 plus 1, then plus 6 over 5 plus 2 is equal to 8. I guess by now, those of you who didn't get it, you are saying, this one here, I should have gotten it. Okay, so easy. So at this point, you come and simplify this. You have like terms to combine in the denominators. So k over 6 plus, okay, 6 over 7, if you add this, is equal to 8. So obviously you have a linear equation in k. Okay, someone can choose to write this as a single fraction, then cross multiply. Okay, or you clear the fraction, this is over 1. The LCM will be 6 times 7, which is 42. So because, okay, on one side you have more than a 10, you have to show the multiplication. Okay, or I said you can choose not to show. Okay, so someone can move from here to here because you have more than a 10. If you had only one 10, that's where strictly will ask you to show, okay, your multiplication. But I did this just for explanation purposes, okay, and for you easily to relate. So now, what do we have? It will be this one times 42, this one times 42, and this also times 42. So by so doing, you end up getting, okay, 7k, because this will go here 7 times k. 7k is equal to, this will go here, so 6 times 6 is 36. It's equal to 42 times 8 will give us 36. So you know you are looking for k. You move this one to the side. So that will give you 7k is equal to 336 minus 36. So that will give us 300. You write it again before you divide because you have just a term on this side. And you end up getting k to be what you have here. But unfortunately, okay, you cannot conclude with an improper fraction. You change to what? Mixed numbers. Okay, so Prof. Leola.
So please, if you didn't change it to mixed fraction and you changed it to decimal, is it still correct?
We'll come to that. So don't worry at all. Now we are looking at what you have there. I will tell you the penalties. Okay, all right. So already I've given you the advice. Avoid concluding with decimals. Avoid concluding with an improper fraction unless otherwise stated. So if you decided to keep it in decimal, you know, okay, you won't get a final answer mark. So let's go and give the marks for that. Okay, Prof. Erefua.
Please, at the third step, if you move the 6 out of 7,
yeah, there's nothing wrong. You can move, that's also an alternative method. You can move this one to this side, simplify using your calculator, then later come and multiply through by 6. There's nothing wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Okay. So now this is what we are going to do. Okay, Prof. Laurentia, please wait. Let me give the marks. Then I'll give you time to ask questions. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let me give the marks. Let me pause, then give the marks. Okay. Then please remind me to resume anytime I pause. Okay, whenever I'm marking. Okay, so these are the mark allocation for all that you have. Then please take notes. Okay, these are the penalties. Take notes. If you did that, make sure you subtract. Because some of you, I realize that you don't do, okay, honest work. Okay, when I'm marking, I'm going through your marked work. Okay, once you mark it, I don't have to get anything wrong in terms of, your marking. I don't have to have any complaints, issues with your marking because I guided you. So if the person didn't write undefined and wrote not defined minus half, take notes. Okay, where you are supposed to use implication and you use equal to, okay, please. Okay, even with this one, assuming maybe you use equal to here. Okay, please circle that and write -2. Ordinarily, I should have given you M0, A0, so I'm being lenient. Next time, you have to be very careful. Okay, so you should know by now, you should know when to use equal to and when to use the implication sign by now. Okay, so this gaps, and for the bonus mark, okay, because it's 20, those who will get 19 and above, so 19, 20 will be those who will get what? The 20 marks, will get the bonus mark of 1. And therefore, so if you had 19, you get your 20. If you had 18, oh, sorry, it's 19, the total mark is 19. So it should be 18 and 19 rather. So you had 18 or 19, you get the bonus mark of 1. Please take notes. Is my point well made? Okay, Prof.
Yes,
Gabi.
please.
Yes, please.
Prof. Gabi, so please do a diligent work for me, okay, in terms of your marking. Prof. Gabi.
That is, if you see for the undefined, you wrote x is equal to 0 or x plus 2 is equal to 0. If you write x into brackets, x plus 2, is it also allowed?
X into bracket, S plus 2 has done what? Yes. If you come and write X into bracket, S plus 2 X first, is equal to 0.
Yes.
Then you write this first before you come to this. Is that not it?
Yes.
So what we've written, remember, we knew from the beginning that we'll end up getting this, then we'll equate. So if you write this one is not here, there is no marks for this. So you have this in your presentation. So you give this one the mark. You get it?
Yes.
So this will just be, okay, no mark for it. It just be something to help you. You decided to go that route. Okay, Prof. Elizabeth.
Mr. Hackman, please, the C part, and please, the concluding part, if you like jump straight from the 7K on 7 is equal to 300 on 7, and you go straight to the K is equal to 42 whole number 6 on 7.
Okay, I was going to speak to that. For the final answer mark, I have told you, if you leave it in improper fraction decimal, you lose the 1.5. Okay, from here to here, you can jump. It will not be costly. Okay, so in that case, if you jump, then you are rather going to give here 2.5. So you will lose this mark. Okay, you combine the marks because you can always jump, move from here to here straight away.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, you are welcome. Okay. So, Prof. Paulette.
Sir, please, what if for the after you finish writing the for undefined x is equal to 0, x plus 2 is equal to 0, you don't do what is under, but you jump straight to the therefore.
Okay, you can see that here you cannot, because I've told you when you equate, come and solve the individual. So this is solved for. So you have to come and solve, okay, the individual equation before you draw your conclusion.
Yes, sir, please, I was solved. But after solving, I didn't write implication. The implication.
No, that's what the implication here is not necessary. You can ignore. Okay. But it's when you come and write the equal to that will be problematic. Is this step there? Is this step there?
Yes, please.
And if it is there, then that's okay. The implication, I didn't give the marks because of the implication. Okay, the reason you can, if you fail to bring the implication, which I said you can ignore, you can still use your equal to determine the step. Once there is equal to here, so we know that this is a step. Okay. So as for implication, remember I said for implication, you can ignore using that to introduce your steps, only that you need to know when to use it. As for the equal to, you cannot, because we want to easily distinguish our steps from each other. Afar.
Yes, please. Okay, and also, please, for your inch, like the 1 over x plus 1 over x plus 2, you didn't write given, but you just wrote the question.
This one. Okay, I've told you, as for the given, you can always ignore. But this one, which you have to extract, you have to extract. Remember, I said only that because of consistency, usually want to start our presentation should be giving and end with therefore, giving and end with therefore. Okay, so that we will know that will be the pattern of every presentation of ours.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, but you can ignore. In any case, you've extracted, that's okay. you will need it. So just extract and move. Okay, so can we move on to the next one? Are we off? Okay, Prof. Mamiya.
Please, C, I wrote given f of x is equal to k over x plus 1 plus 6 over x plus 2. But instead of using but, I use and.
There's no issue. Okay. And you've extracted, there's no issue. This cannot deny you of any mark because you can see that I didn't give any mark here. So, okay.
Yes.
In the B half that we have here, I think I should have given the whole of this B1 because you have 2 information to extract. Okay, but you finished marking already, so that I will still maintain this one as 1. Okay, yeah. But have you submitted? You've not submitted your work, right? So yes. I can still do changes because here, other than that, it will not be fair. With this one, you extracted only one information. This one you extracted 2. So let's make it fair. You get it? So I am giving the mark. So I'm going to equally do that. So let me see what can be done over there. Oops. Okay, so please take note. I am refining my mark. So this will still, I'll maintain the 1, but make the whole of this one D. Okay, what? So let me go and write it there instead. Okay, so B. Okay, so the whole of this will be B1. So meaning E half, B half. Okay, so still I am within the 19. Okay, plus 1 bonus mark. Okay, so are we all fine? Mamiya, Prof. Mamiya, your hand is up. Or is the old one? I said yes, if your final answer is in decimal, you get A0. If for you to get the A1 here, your final answer should be exactly the same as what is here. Any other, you won't get it. I've told you, you avoid concluding with decimal. You decided not to hit. Okay, so however, I also would decide not to give you the marks. So you know what to do. So yeah, you lose the A0. You are even lucky the half is gone. You would have lost 1.5. Okay, so please take note. Avoid decimals unless if you want you to conclude in decimals, we'll tell you. Okay, maybe take it to 2 decimal places, what have you. However, if you can work with the exact, work with the exact. I'll always avoid decimal if possible. In certain situations, you cannot avoid, but here you can avoid, so you avoid. Okay, that's my point. All correct. Okay, so let's move on to the second question, question 2. So question now, 1 down. So let's go and look at question 2. Okay, question 2. Also, I think this question you are very familiar. I think I told you that this question definitely will come in. It came anyway. So some of the questions at least. Okay, so giving you extract 2 functions. And okay, let me go back. Remember, I told you there will be marks if this function is extracted in the mapping form, -1. So the B, if you extract it in the mapping form, -1. Take notes. That's the penalty. I've told you times without number. Avoid extracting your function in the mapping form. So you are even lucky I didn't make it 2. All right. So let's move on. With this one we'll come to the penalties. Mapping you extract in the relation form. Okay, then you come to A, f of -3. This means wherever you see x in f of x, you put -3 there. Take notes. Okay, so A, f of -3 will be equal to, wherever I see x in f of x, I put -3 there. And I have to put it in bracket. For failure to put it in bracket will be costly. So I will tell you what to do if you didn't put it in bracket. So now you come and deal with the powers, then you combine. So you end up getting this. Okay, the B, also easy. F of x is equal to g of x. What is your f of x? Is this. You write it here. Equal to g of x. What is g of x? This here. Okay, and because you have an equation, that's why you started with imputation. Because this, what you have here is an expression, you start introducing your steps with equal to. If you fail to introduce your steps with equal to, penalties will come. Okay, you know the writing, so I have to force you to do it. Okay, if you don't want to do it. Okay, so at this point, you come and solve your equation. So you move this one to the side because you realize that you are confronted with a quadratic equation. So in solving, you multiply the sentence, which will give you 14. factor pair of 14, which when you multiply, you get 14. When you add, you get -9. Okay, and that would be -2 and 7. So you use that one to split this. Okay, you factorize by grouping, and I've told you avoid using bracket to group. So if you use bracket to group, okay, -1. If I check and I said that your bracket that you use to group, it will be costly in this case, okay, because if you put it this one in bracket, put it this way in bracket, okay, you know what will happen. You've changed the whole of the expression here. So you go and simplify, solve for each, factorize completely, okay, equate each of the factor to 0, and you move on. And again, this is an improper fraction. In your conclusion, you shouldn't. And when you read question, underline this. And I think by now, okay, some of you agree with me that, okay, you should have cultivated the habit in underlining the salient part, because you are losing certain marks that you were not supposed to lose. Okay, and I believe some of you didn't leave your answer. In fact, some of you, I saw that some of you didn't leave your answer in the true set. So the plan is to protect our marks. It is for our own good. Let's try and adapt. So true set, meaning your answer cannot be, okay, in the normal, okay, conclusion, by the true set form. So at this point, let me go and give my marks. Okay, I extracted 2 information, so let me call it B1. Let me give that one B1. Okay, so this one will give me M1. Okay, M1. Okay, M1, then A1. You always have to remove the bracket before. Okay, so you cannot move from here to here. Okay, so this one, this is what you were given. Okay, so let me see B half. Okay, I will see if I can give B half also here. You extracted. Later I can change. I can choose not to give it any mark. So your M1, okay, this will give me M1. Okay, M1. Okay, where I start my, okay, continue with my factorization, M1, M1, okay. I set each of the factor to 0, M1. Okay, with this one, come and solve. This side will give me M1. Okay, this side will give me M half. So it means in effect I have 1.5. Then this will give me a, okay, 2. Let me sum and see whether I will get. If not, then I will add some of the marks. Okay, so Prof. Erefua, have you done your work?
Please.
Okay, so what did you have? I asked you to, you are in charge of summing. So I was expecting you, as I'm writing the marks, you'll be summing. Okay, all right, who has the sum? So 1.5, 2.5, 3. Come again.
Please, 16.5.
16.5, so I have to do something to it. I want at least 18. So let me see where, okay, so I get the factors, and so let me make this one M2. So 17.5, where I group and factorize M2, 18.5. Okay, so once I have 18.5, I think, okay, that is okay. Let me, 18.5. Okay, so 1.5 bonus, that is in line. Okay, so in that case, I'm going to get 18.5, okay, plus 1.5 bonus. Okay, so making, okay, 20 marks. Is that clear? Okay, and this is how I'm going to give the bonus mark. Okay, so the total marks is 18. If you get, okay, let me say 17, the total marks is 18.5 to, okay, 17. Okay, so 17, I will give you half. Okay, you get half, or let me even make it 16. Okay, so 16, if you get 16, you get half. Okay, if you get 17, okay, it will be +1. If you get 18, okay, or 18.5, okay, you get the total 1.5. Is that clear?
Yes, please.
Okay, so if you score 16 out of the total, the original total, you add a bonus of half. So that will make it 16.5. Okay, if you had 17, and okay, out of the total, that will be a bonus of 1. 18 or 18.5, a bonus of the total bonus. You get it. Okay, all right. Okay, so Prof. Isaac. Prof. Isaac.
Sir, please, the question 2A. The third step.
The third step, which is this?
No, the second step, rather.
Okay, which is this?
Sir, if you skip that step and you move straight to this one,
you cannot.
18.
Please take note. Anytime you are dealing with an expression which contains something to a certain power, what mass means you have to deal with the power first. So you have to deal with the power. So you keep this. So this one you have to go through. After dealing with the power, you have to come and remove the brackets. So I said it. So you can't use your calculator and move from here to here straight away. Other than that, somebody can use the calculator and move from here to even the answer. You get it? So anytime you have an expression that involves power and you are simplifying, make sure you deal with the power unless it is 1. If it is 1, that's a special case, or even 0. Other than that, any other number, deal with the power, okay, in your next step before you deal with any other operation. Prof. Ike, exactly. So it means you will lose, okay, the marks of the step that you didn't write. So with this one, all the marks that have been, the steps are very vital steps. You cannot skip. Even if you want to skip, maybe it should be from here to here. Okay, that maybe I can pardon you, right? So they cannot be from here to here. The power always, you have to deal with it. Prof. Jojo.
Sir, is the total marks is 17.5, not 18.5?
17.5 rather, not 18.5. Okay, no issues. Okay, when you carry out your substitution, okay, I am going to give you 2 marks. So is it now 18.5? I didn't sum because I was assuming maybe reliable. So let me see if indeed that is the case. 3, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7, 8, 9, okay, 11, okay, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 18.5. So you are right after bringing the 2. So issue resolved. So this will now be, so please take note, when you carry out your substitution, it's now M2. Okay. Any other, Prof. Nanama?
Sir, please, the B, what if you miss the first step?
You miss which one?
The B, the first step.
This is the step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Step 5, you miss this.
Yes, sir.
Is this step?
Yes, sir.
No, you cannot miss until your factorization is complete because you have to get your factors before you set. If you miss this, okay, sometimes it will be highly costly. We'll give you M0, A0, but okay, I'm going to be lenient. Next time, be careful. You will lose only this mark. Exactly, you cannot skip. Okay, ask questions. You are learning, you see. Okay, ask questions so that you will know. Usually, okay, ordinarily, and most often than not, okay, whenever there is, you are not given a quadratic equation directly, and you are solving something which resulted in a quadratic equation, you can even move from here to the factors. As for this step, you can skip. It's a very vital step. You can move from here, okay, to this. You can use your calculator. So meaning the marks here will be given as well. But sometimes, okay, I said usually, okay, but sometimes the marking scheme will come and they'll say that you should give marks for the method in the factorization. So I always advise my students, anytime you are factorizing, make sure you go through the method. Don't skip anything. So that in case we are supposed to give marks, you protect your marks. In case we are not supposed to lose marks, you don't lose anything. You get the point?
Yes, please.
So always sure. Okay. So now with this one to take note, if you don't change this one, so your final answer before you can get this, okay, everything must be exact. And the penalty, if you extracted your function in the mapping form, it is -1. So you will lose the B1 mark. Is that clear? And if you don't start with equal to, okay, you ignore the equal to, it will be -1. But if you start with implication, immediately you come and start with implication, it will be M0, okay, A0, because that's the wrong use of implication. So you lose all the marks here. Take note and do the right thing if you are a victim. Okay, because this is an expression, I cannot start introducing my steps with implication. I've told you if you use implication, then on the line, you have to see equal to there or any of the inequality sign, but you cannot see that over there. At this point, you have to know when to use the implication and the equal to. So take notes. All right, so can I move on to the next question?
Sir, please, if you had 17.5, do you still add the bonus?
If you had 17.5. Oh, okay, so now, no, it's still, we are still using the same. Okay, what do you, 17.5 asking? So 17.5 will still be for the 17. You've not moved into the 18 yet. So you get the bonus mark of 1. Don't round it. Is that okay? So 17.5 will give you, okay, a bonus of what? Of 1. Just like 17. Okay, 16.5 will give you, 16 will give you, okay, what do you call it? Half. 16.5 will also give you half because you've not moved into the 17. Is that clear?
Yes, please.
Okay, so on that note, we'll move on to our third question, if you don't have any further questions. Okay, just be honest in your marking. Okay, once you are honest, okay, and you know, okay, when you take your book and you are revising, you would indicate what went wrong there. And next time you don't repeat that. Okay, so this is also a known question. Okay, this was the question that, in fact, okay, I think it's changed here. Okay, it was F. Initially, it was F and G. Okay, that was what I gave you, and we discussed up to a point. I think we did this one that I said, go and try. I gave you a hint, but I said, go and try. It will come in the test, and lo and behold, you got it in what? In the test as well. It came in the test. So this is it. The functions originally in the one that I gave you were F and what? And G. So that's the more reason why you saw that when I was doing the editing, okay, I failed to do the right editing here. So it's affected, but we corrected that. Okay, so it was G, it's now G and H. G is this, H is what you have there. So initially, this was the second question. So this time around, I made this one the first question. So you are supposed to find G of -half dot H of what? 3 all over. So here you have a lot of them. If you want to work with everything at a go, you work with everything at a go. So let's come to this. Okay, given you extract, the function came in the mapping form. So you extract in the relation form, you know. And A, what are you giving? Okay, we will have exactly what we have here. That's what we are. It's an expression. But this expression, if you want to solve, ordinarily, if you want to move on and solve it, okay, together at the same time, you write equal to. But because I want to split, I want to take parts or solve it in parts. When I'm solving it in parts, I have to write parts and take them in parts. So, but J of -half will be equal to wherever I see X in J of X, I put -half there, and this is it. Okay, so this is what you have. And like I said, you can see a power. So don't use your calculator straight away. Come and work on the power. So you can see that here I worked on the power. So -half squared gave me what I have here. If the -half is not in bracket, M0, A0. The other one too, let me quickly go back. So that if you did that, this one too, if the -3 is not in bracket, okay, M0, A0, take note of that. Okay, so now what do we have? We are going to move on to the next one. I was explaining it. Okay, so let me, okay, continue. You take them in and you simplify. Now I'm back. Okay, so with this nature of this question, okay, it is convenient to deal with it in isolation. If you go and work it out together, you have to be very careful. Because this is multiplication, so because of that, those of you who worked it at a go, okay, it came, okay, at a cost. Okay, I will explain. Now let me explain per the scheme. So G of minus half, I've done that. If I'll come to the penalties and as I award the marks. Then G of 4. So I'm doing all the G's. Someone can do G of minus half, G of H of 3. Okay, do it in. But I want to deal with, if I take G, I want to work with the function G. I come and take H. I work with all that I have using the function H. So in this case, what do I have? Okay, G of 4, so I come and equally, then I move on to the H. I need H of 3. I equally come and substitute. So now I'm working with H. Wherever I see X, it is 3. Then I have H of 5. Wherever I see X, it is what? 5. So I do same there. So I now know all my, okay, values, interested values. Okay, so now what do? I cannot come and write equal to something has interfered, and I've told you anytime you have a statement, okay, which you ordinarily would have written equal to, immediately something interferes and you are going to infer, make use of it again. At that point, you can draw your conclusion. Remember functions when we're doing. Okay, so therefore, or I can write implication and later draw my conclusion, but it's better to write therefore. Then what do? You go and substitute. So you substitute your first, okay, G of minus half, which gave you minus half. Okay, then times, okay, dot is the same as times. Okay, this gave you 11. Okay, H of 3. So you substitute the values, then now you come and simplify. The numerator multiplies, gives you this. So you move on to the next step. Okay, the next line, and you write close to the margin. So numerator will multiply and give you exactly what you have there. The denominator you can subtract, okay, and get exactly what is there as well. So now you get this minus that will give us 14. I realize that my next step, this will be a single fraction, and this I will subtract. It's also give me a single fraction. So that gave me the information, okay, or inform me that I can change the bar here to the symbol. Otherwise, someone can still change or keep what the bar. In that case, what do you get? You are going to get 11 minus 11 on 2. Then you reciprocate. So that will give you 1 on 14. But assuming you wrote this, take note. Assuming you wrote this, okay, minus 11 over 2, all over, okay, 14. Okay, if you are smart, which I know most all of you are, what do? I've told you, you just have to bring this one down. Don't change this 20. So this is the same as minus 11. The denominators will come and multiply, and you get your 28 straight away. If you are mature, you should know. Okay, so here I decided to do it this way. So I now change it to multiplication and invert. So landing me with this. And this answer that I have, a fraction, is proper. So I don't change it. I leave it like this. So that would be the solution for A. And the A, assuming you decided to do direct substitution. If you are going for direct substitution, then this is what will happen. Okay, when you are substituting for your J of minus half, you will get 2 terms in the numerator because you get this one here minus this here in the numerator. Then times this one, 2, if you go and substitute the 3, you get 2 terms. So if you don't put each term, okay, I mean each, okay, expression here that you are evaluating in brackets, you are doomed. It will be M0, A0, because you are going to write it this way. 2 into 1 minus 1 over 2 squared minus 1. Then times, okay, which is the dot. Then you get 3 into, okay, 3, okay, then plus 2. The meaning of this one is different from this. What you have here, this is the whole of this one multiplying that. And with this one, it is the minus 1 that is multiplying this. So to keep the meaning, because it's more than a term before, must be in bracket. This also should be in bracket. If you fail to do that, it will be M0, A0. Please take notes. Okay, so when you are working with it at a go, even with this one, when you are subtracting, this will give you 2 terms. So you should put it in bracket. So anything that you are substituting, please make sure you put it in bracket. You can say that just as you are substituting for minus half, you are also substituting for the whole of the J of minus half. So you should put the whole of this also in bracket. You are substituting for this, so 3, but you are also substituting for H of 3. So the whole of that should be in bracket as well. So same as what you have there, whether it's a term or not, make sure you put it in bracket. So this will be it for my marks B1. Okay, 2 information extracted. If you extracted in the mapping form, it will be B0, okay, minus 1. Then I have, this will also be, give me a B mark. So let me call this B half, or give this one B half. Okay, then I'm going to get M, okay, 1. Okay, M1, I will come back and refine it, so don't worry. So after dealing with this, then I will move the brackets M1, okay, then A1. Okay, let me give this one A half. I will later maybe, it seems it will be more than 20. So I have to come and change certain marks. So I'm going to, oh, I told you when I'm giving the marks, I have to pause, so prompt me to pause so that we don't wait. Okay, so this is what we have, okay, in terms of the solution and the marks. I've told you, if you want to work with everything directly, it comes with a risk. You can do that, but it comes with a risk. And I will advise, if what you are given, you are asked to evaluate, if it contains only a term in the denominator that you are supposed to substitute, meaning maybe if this one was j of minus half over maybe h of 5, just a one evaluation in the numerator, one evaluation in the denominator, I'll ask you to deal with everything as I go. As you saw in one of the questions that came in that, okay, one of the examples, it came in that form. It was a function evaluated at a value over another function evaluated at a value. So just numerator function 1, denominator. But here it's not like that. When you have more than 1 in the numerator or in the denominator or both, please take it out separately and work. So if you want to work it out, okay, then you are going to do this, then it will be over. Okay, take notes. But I'm saying that if you do that, check. If you did that, if you didn't put this in brackets, okay, it will be M0, A0, because the meaning changes. However, if you put that in brackets, then that's it for your numerator. For you also to get, okay, the mark there, this is what we are going to do. Let me see. So eraser, your denominator should also look this way. So please take note. So here, this is supposed to be the square bracket. That's the matured way, because you have inner brackets, ordinary brackets, so square brackets. Okay, then the denominator, G of 4, will give you 2 into 4 squared. Okay, then minus 1. Just you have 2 terms, so you put it in brackets. So your square bracket. Then minus your other one, 2, will be 2 terms, so you put it in brackets, square bracket. So it will be 3 into what? Into 5. Okay, then plus 2. So it's now that you come and remove all the inner brackets so that the outer square bracket will become the ordinary bracket. But failure to put even one of them in brackets will be M0, A0. Is that clear? So if that's what you did, it comes with a risk. Okay, so if you are ready to bear the risk, okay, you do that. Okay, so I guess, okay, you are sorted. Okay, Prof. Leonard.
Yes, please, my screen wasn't clear when we were showing the marking for the question 1 and 2.
You said what?
My screen wasn't clear when we were going through the question 1 and 2 markings.
Okay, you wait. When you get the video, you do the needful. I can't go back. Is that okay? Okay, you know the rules. I can't go back. So I'll make the video available. You watch. So the one that you are able to, okay, is clear. Mark that one and submit. Then later you add the one that you wait for the video. Is that clear?
Okay.
Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, so is it that most of you are not seeing the screen is not clear? Okay, Prof. Lola. Your hand is up. After that, Prof. Napier, you can ask your questions.
Yes. I was saying that the question 3, the step after the h of 5. If the one after the equal to is you started with that one instead of.
Which one? I don't get you. You mean you skip this?
No, like I'm talking about the next one.
This one. This one.
No, yeah, instead of writing that one and you write substituting G of half, like you substitute. So like you start with the next one, but not with that one. You still get the M1.
Okay, so this is it. Okay, you try as much as possible to take out the English. Okay, so your English teacher who needs the English. So give him or her the English and let us have the maths. So here, what I have, if I come and write there for this and I do this, what am I doing? Am I not substituting? You get the point. So if that is the route you want to go, then it means when you are going to substitute the minus half to, you should have stated that substituting, you get it. So anytime you are going to substitute, just substitute and let's go. We will know that you are substituting. You get the point. But if you come and write, so what did you write? You said you write substituting. Oops. You wrote substituting. Okay. Then what do you came to write equal to? Is that what you wrote?
No.
So what did you write? When you wrote the equal to, what was this one here?
No, it was the one after the equal to sign that was there.
Which one after the equal to? This
Yes,
one?
No, the minus half times 11 over 31 minus 17.
Tell me what you wrote. Exactly, I'm going to write.
So I wrote substituting G of negative 1 over 2, G of 4, H of 3, and H of 5. Then I moved to the next one. I wrote is equal to.
It's equal to.
Negative half.
Okay, negative half. I get you now. 10 times. Okay, half. 11 over. Okay, whatever. So now we are on the same page. Okay, I didn't want to think for you. So we are on the same page. Okay, so I'm going to answer. Okay. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so this is it. We are solving something on question 3A. You want to look at, okay, 3B. Once we are using this, please let us finish. Okay, so this is it. When you write this, okay, if you come and write is equal to, then it means you are going to draw your conclusion. Is that not it? And your conclusion should take this. Because if you come and write substituting this and this is equal to, you've not drawn your conclusion. So I don't know what is indeed equal to this. You know what you are doing. So when you simplify and you come and get your result here, then you are now going to write therefore, okay, whatever that you were given, which is what I have there, is equal to your results. In that case, you can get it. However, the advice is anytime you do the work, but you take whatever that you were given and you solve it in parts. When you are going to substitute, write whatever that you have there, that you took it in part and solve, write it again and go and substitute. So don't write the English there. You get the point?
Yes, please.
Okay, so if you wrote it this way, you didn't draw your conclusion, you get everything that is here. However, you know, if the conclusion is not there, yeah, this is taking the A1 is taking the conclusion. So if you didn't conclude, then you won't get the A1. Take notes. All right. Okay, so Nanepia.
So please, I was asking that for those of us that we solved it in a fraction straightforward, how do we mark it?
Okay, so did you put whatever you are supposed to put in brackets in brackets?
Yes, please.
Okay, so if that is the case, okay, if you can see that all that you are doing here is here, critically speaking, you can see. So once you have here, the M half here, you get it in there. The next step, you deal with the square, which is also M half. I hope you get it.
Yes, please.
Only all the steps that you have here will be in your fraction. Only that you will be dealing with it in terms of fraction, so you can give the maths. I don't know whether my point is well made.
Yes, please.
Okay, very good. Okay.
Thank you.
And it's usually better, okay, it is better to deal with it this way, because you can see that with this one, as you are simplifying the numerator, okay, I'm talking about this term, and this term. The next one, you still have to draw the line. You get it? You keep on drawing the lines and what have you. But here, you don't draw any line. So you save a little time. Okay, look at the number of brackets that we have here. So with this one, I've told you, this is the advice. This is the first time you've seen this. I even told you, okay, before, and that please, anytime you have such a situation, take it out, okay, and evaluate your functions individually before you import your results and you go and substitute. This is the best way to go. Unless maybe your numerator function is only one. So maybe I have, okay, I've been asked to simplify j of -2, okay, over h of maybe -5. Okay, this one I can do it directly because just one evaluation, another evaluation, or even if this one I come and write +1, just one function evaluated here, one function evaluated here. So that one I can deal with it at a go. But immediately I come and add another function, maybe times j of x, or let's say j of 1. Okay, I have more than a function in either the denominator, the numerator. In this case, the denominator. So I will avoid working with everything at a go. I will take it to go and find j of -2, go and find j of 1, come and find h of -5, and later go and substitute. It's usually better, ideal. Point well made.
Yes, yes, please.
So now going forward, you know, okay, what to do. Okay, so if you are all fine, then we can move on to the B. Someone else wanted to see, okay, the B. So take note of that very soon, okay, we'll be done. We are left with the last question. Okay, which was a question again that you were told that it will come in the test. So please, okay, if you are done marking, okay, I think I can move on. The person who said, can I move on now? Okay, Jojo, can I move on now? From Jojo, can I move on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now let's go and look at question number 4. Okay, so question number 4, a little technical, but not difficult. Okay, so as usual, okay, so with this one, oops, let me go back. Okay, so question number 4A. Okay, please take note. And those of you who didn't normal your work, your presentation, you know, when I take it, you are going to lose the whole marks for your submission. Remember, I've told you it's very highly risky if you don't normal your solution, especially when the questions are normal. Okay, so take note. So on that note, you know, no matter how beautiful your presentation is, you are going to lose all the marks there. Be careful. Okay, you are aware of this. So this is what we have. Okay, so you were given the mapping came in the function came in the mapping form. So you know you extract in the relation form. As for the penalties, you know, immediately you extract it in the mapping form, it is -1 automatically. Okay, then where P and Q are constants, if the image of 1 is minus, so this information here, okay, and another information, 3, the image of 3, okay, is -12. Find the values of P and Q. So I've told you, anytime you have one unknown, we'll give you one information to find one unknown. If you have 2 unknowns, we have to give you at least 2 information to find, okay, these what unknowns. And that's what you have here. So in effect, this was given directly. This equally was given directly, but I extracted it mathematically. We know that the image of 1 being equal to what? -6. Meaning, okay, the image of 1 is denoted by h of 1. Am I right? Okay, obviously, so this information here is trying to tell us that h of 1, okay, will be equal to -6. So that's what I've written here. And this is also telling us that h of 3, the image of 3 will be when you feed h of s with 3, and that is equal to -12. So you use this to form your equation. And remember the one that we did in class, the question, it came in this form. Okay, you were given this information directly, meaning each of this for you to know, okay, your function and what to evaluate. But this came in a statement form. So you can go back to your normal form, which is this. So at this point, you use this one to form your first equation. H of 1 will be, wherever I see 1 here, I put, okay, what do you call it? X here, I put 1 there. So I'll get P into 1 squared plus Q into 1 minus 2 is equal to minus 6. And remember, I told you the special situation where you have a power and the number inside the bracket that you are raising to that power is 1. You can always skip, okay, that step that you have to bring in the power before you move the brackets. And that's what I did here. Okay, because, and you can see that with this one, it is not 1. So I didn't skip. Can you see that? So you to play is safe when the power, irrespective of the number, deal with the power before, okay, you go and remove the bracket. So this will give us minus 6 I have. Okay, I simplify, you know, you are going to solve 2 equations simultaneously for P and Q. So you collect all the terms in P and Q on one side and a constant. So that gave us minus 6 plus 2 minus 4. You label this as equation 1. You come and do same here. Okay, your P of what? Sorry, H of 3 being equal to 12 means H of 3 will be P into 3 squared plus Q into 3 minus 2. And we are saying that is equal to minus 12. You simplify your equation, you end up getting this. Okay, so this is where your presentation matters in terms of solving the equations simultaneously. Okay, most of us, okay, but most of you, I usually don't use the substitution method. You like using the substitution method. But I usually want to use what's the elimination method, provided it is ideal. So anytime you are solving equations simultaneously, I've told you, listen to the equations they talk. Okay, the equations will tell you as to the type of method or the method that you are supposed to use for solving that, okay, system of what equations. So in this case, having listened to the equations, okay, if elimination is the best, then originally my letters that I have, the P and Q, the coefficient should be the same. Okay, if substitution will be easy, then if I do, okay, change of subject, okay, if I make P the subject, it shouldn't involve a fraction. If I make Q the subject, it shouldn't involve a fraction. Then my work will be very easy in terms of substitution. However, I would have gone for substitution method. Okay, but because I wanted you to know the presentation for the elimination method in a situation like this, that's the more reason why I went for the substitution method. Sorry, the elimination method. So the elimination method, okay, here I want to eliminate, okay, Q, because you can eliminate P, but I realize that if I want to eliminate P, I have to multiply by a bigger value compared to that of the Q. So this one, if I want to eliminate P, I have to multiply equation 1 by 9. I always want to deal with smaller values. Okay, so if I want to eliminate Q, I have to multiply equation 1 by 3. Okay, so I'm going to rather eliminate Q because it involves a smaller value multiplication. So equation 1, you can see that this one is ready, equation 1, times 3, comma, semicolon, colon. You have to separate. Don't come down. This will be too short to take a line. So separate that with whatever that you are going to write by using either a comma, either a colon or semicolon. I usually use comma. So I'm going to get 3p. I multiply this by 3, this by 3. So that will give me what I have here. This by 3. So I'll get this. I'm calling this 1a just for the virtue of the fact that, okay, it's only equation 1 that I took and worked on. So this is a baby of equation 1. It's equation 1, only equation 1 manipulated. So the baby is represented by the letter A here. You can call it 3 if you like. You can give it any name which has not already been used. I usually do this so that in case of trouble, I can trace the parent of the relations and work with it, deal with it. So in this case, having multiplied, now I can work with this and this. I can eliminate the Q, which was my intention. So they have the same sign. So if I want to eliminate, I have to subtract. So in this case, I'm subtracting equation 1a from 2, equation 2. So I write equation 2 circled minus equation 1a. This will also always be too short to take a line. So comma, semicolon, or colon. Then you come to what? If you subtract 9p minus 3p will give you 6p. Minus 3q minus 3q will give you 0. That's your intention. So purpose achieved. Then you come to minus 10 minus 12, which will give us what? Plus 2. So you write it again before you divide. P will give you not a pretty value, 1/3, but you don't have a choice. We have to work with it. So I will call this one equation 3, just because I didn't work with a specific equation. I worked with more than an equation 2. So I will label it, continue with my flow, equation 3, or any other name that you like. Then, so I will need 3, okay, to predict what? That's the P to predict the Q. So what you have to do is, okay, you come and substitute this one into any of the 2 equations, but preferably equation 1, because it contains smaller values. So equation 3 into equation 1, comma, I'll get P, which is 1/3 plus Q is equal to minus 4. So what do? You move this one to the side, or you clear the fraction. I moved. Simplify this using my calculator. Okay, and this is an improper fraction. So in my conclusion, I changed. Okay, so I guess my point is well made. Now we come to the B. Okay, what are we giving? We are giving this. So you extract the given function. Fortunately, it came in the relation form. Okay, we need to find g of minus what? Minus 4. And g of minus 4 will mean it's an expression. So I start with equal to. If you start with implication M0, A0, you know. Okay, so circle that and write M0, A0 there. Then wherever I see x in equation, in g of x, it is now what? Minus 4. So this is my g of x. So minus 4, if you like, you can put it in bracket. If you put it in bracket, then this outer bracket becomes a square bracket. Okay, mathematically, that's the right way. So I realized that the bracket will not be necessary. So minus 4 plus 1 in bracket, then minus 4 minus 1, which gives us, okay, whatever that we have here. And if you simplify, you multiply, you get this. Okay, and the last one, which is the g of x is equal to 5 minus x in brackets. You can choose not to write a bracket. So g of x is this, is equal to 5 minus x. Unfortunately, you cannot come and say that the x plus 1 is equal to 5 minus x, and you saw x minus 1 is equal to 5 minus x. You cannot do that because we only have 0 product rule. We don't have 5 minus x, product rule. So until you can equate, this side must be 0. Otherwise, you go and expand, okay, and collect like terms, you group. Let me finish, those of you with your hands up. Okay, I will give you opportunity to ask your questions or contribute. So now you expand this, you know the difference of 2 squares. So if you go and do this time, this, and what have you, then it means that really you are not mature, because you should recognize this as difference of 2 squares factorization. So if you expand, you will get difference of 2 squares. You take everything to one side, it's a quadratic equation. You solve. You're expert in solving quadratic equations now. And here you end up with this. And don't draw your conclusion by saying, therefore, the values of no. I've told you, just write therefore x and state the values. It implies the same thing. Okay, any questions before? So let me go and give the marks. Am I recording? I should think so. Okay, so let me go and give the marks. So at this point, I can pause. Then after that, your questions will come, or your contributions can come. Okay, so now we've given the marks, okay, allocation. We've indicated the mark allocation there. So when you extract B1, okay, this, so check, okay, and deal with it the way, please, with you lose your conclusion mark, okay, if this is not in, okay, mixed numbers, take notes. If this is not in mixed numbers, take notes. You lose your conclusion mark. Okay, all right. Prof. Maria.
I wanted to say that when I was solving the 4a, I didn't simplify the equations before I started solving them simultaneously.
You didn't simplify scene?
I didn't make it P plus Q is equal to minus -4. I
So
just
you
solved it as P plus 2 is
directly.
equal.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem. Okay, but we have to combine these two always. If you want, then you have to move this one to this side. That's another way. But
Okay.
the most convenient way, remember, anytime you are solving, we said let the variables be on one side and the constants on the other side.
Okay.
Usually that's how. However, if you move it this one to the side, you can still do your subtraction, only that you subtract like terms always. So you subtract
Okay.
P from P, Q from Q, and constant from constant. Or you add, okay, like times P and P, Q, and Q, then what? Your constants. Okay, so that's okay. No issues. Okay. Any other issues? Okay, so please make sure you mark up. I'm waiting.
I have an issue. Not an issue, but then the way I did it was, I don't know. So I want you to go to the next, the B.
The B.
No, sorry, this.
The C. Okay.
The next page, the II. Please, not here. Okay, thank you. So when I was solving it, I equated x plus 1 is equal to 5 minus x. Then x minus 1 is equal to 5 minus
I
x.
said it. I said that you can't do that. Then it means you were not listening. I said, if you like, go and watch the video. I said, please, do you remember I said that you can't do that? Because I realized that some of you did that. You only have, okay, I said, you only have, if you have A, B is equal to 0, that's when you can say that A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. Apart from that, okay, if you have A, B is equal to any other thing which is not 0, let's say 2, I cannot say A is equal to 2 or B is equal to 2. And again, if I have A, B is equal to X, I can't say A is equal to X. Okay, B is equal to X. Because if A is equal to X and B is equal to X, if I multiply, I will get X squared. I can't get X. You get the point?
Yes, please. Thank you.
So you cannot do that. The only situation where you can equate your factors to whatever that you have here is when what you have here is 0. So that's the more reason why we have to expand and take everything to one side, because you want this side to be 0 before we can factorize and equate it to 0. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Any other? I'm waiting. Okay, Prof. Lola.
Say, please, I don't think you marked BI.
You don't think I marked BI? You mean
yes.
I marked or I allocated marks?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't see it.
Okay, I did that. So please, okay, check and do the needful. And you know, after, so each question, when you are done marking, just as I did, okay, write the total marks there. The total, then you go and write the grand total on your first page. So it means in all, we are going to get 80 marks. The total, the grand total is supposed to be 80 marks. So whatever that you get over 80, indicate it. Whatever that you get over 80. Okay, each question 20 marks. So 80, I should have even made it 25, 25. So that it will be 100, but no issues. Okay. All right, and here I saw a hand up. Prof. Laurentia.
Sir, please, for the question 3A, I didn't do it the way you did it.
This one?
Sir, please, no A.
No,
yes,
A
sir.
is this one.
Yes, sir. Please,
so
I solved everything.
At a go. But we've explained that. I've explained how, okay, to mark when you do everything at a go. So please go and watch the video. If you didn't hear, hold on with the marking for this one. Go and watch the video and do the needful. The video will come. When you get the video, watch it and do the needful. So submit the rest. Okay, because you are not able to get your total, it means when you are submitting your last one, which will be the marked version of this, then you indicate your grand total there. Or better still, you can hold on, but when you hold on, you forget, some of you. Okay, you hold on when you get the video and you are through with your marking, then you submit.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Prof. Leonard. So I will go to the last page again.
You're not able to do the question 4. Is this still out of 80?
Come again.
If you are not able to do the question 4, are we supposed to add all
you are supposed to mark everything, so it means you will get 0/20 here. In exams, if you are supposed to answer 3 questions and you answer 2, do you mark it over the 2 questions? No, we mark it over the total. And the instruction was to answer all questions. So even if you did only 1 question, it will still be over 20. Sorry, over 80. If you didn't do even 1 question, it will still be over what? Over 80. Is it clear? Other than that, somebody will do 2 questions, okay, hoping that you mark it over the total of what, 40. Okay, which will not be fair, you know. The instruction was to, so the total marks is what you all have the same denominator of 80. So what you will score based on your presentation is what will be the numerator. Okay, so at this point, okay, you can submit your work. Okay, we are, okay, indirectly done. Okay, so any Prof. Nanekia, Anabia.
Sir, please, can you go back to 3B? I didn't see the total for that part.
Oh, the total BI. No, we summed this, unless maybe you said you didn't see BI. Where is BI? Okay, so 3B. Okay, 3B, there is no BI.
I meant the B.
No, okay. So this was it. Okay. Prof. Erefua.
Please, I wanted to ask the question 4. If you didn't use elimination and you use substitute,
you have to get the same, okay, answer. Is that not it?
Yes, please.
And so if you had the same answer, just give yourself the total score. You get it?
But yes. Okay, but please, what if like you didn't simplify in the question, but then you came to simplify at the end? Will it mean 0?
You didn't simplify. Let me go to the end. I don't know your simplification. Which simplification are you talking about? Okay, let me go back.
Where you got the P is equal to 1 out of 3. I had 2 out of 6. But
what is appearing on my screen? Okay, please hold on.
Okay.
What I had
P equals 1 out of 3. Actually, you simplify the 2 out of 6 over there. So what if you didn't simplify it there, but in the end, when you were concluding, then you simplify?
It's the conclusion that matters. You can see that I didn't simplify it here. Did I simplify it here? Did I change?
Please, you can't write P equals 1 out of 3, then you give a mark for that.
Yeah, so this one is not simplification. You mean you wrote 2 over 6?
Yes, then I use it for that.
No, you have to simplify. So until you get an answer mark, so it should be exactly the same before you can get it. Okay. Any fraction, you have to simplify before you go in. Okay, substitute. Okay, I get you now. Okay, so I guess we are all fine. Okay, so if that's the case, then we thank God for, okay, a wonderful meeting. God willing, okay, let me end the class, then give you maybe some notices. Okay, so we thank God for a very fruitful lesson. Make sure you do the needful. Submit your work. I had about 70-something students. Okay, so make sure you are all submitting your work. Okay, your marked work. Okay, so thank you very much once again. God bless us all.